wasn't recording the whole time. 3, 2, 1. So we'll talk about her story.
Yeah.
We'll do
well,
the
you're
makeup.
gonna imitate Bailey. I'm doing the green challenge look.
Oh, well, I meant imitate her. She does her murder mystery makeup.
She does the story. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll play it by ear. You can edit it, or Natalie can edit it out, whoever.
Okay.
Yes.
What? Were you gonna say something?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Yep. So I think we got everything.
Yeah.
Oh.
Murder Next Door, Evil Next Door, or Evil Next Door Neighbors, or something like that.
Well, it's a fitting title for her.
Absolutely.
Because I had to watch the video a couple times because I kept falling asleep. Maybe because Brittany. Why do I keep wanting to call her Brittany?
Brittany, bitch.
Bailey. Why is my phone? Uh-oh. Did it not? Okay, there it goes. It's clicking now. Okay.
Okay.
That's craziness. And then, hold on. I gotta go get my blush.
Okay.
I know. Oh,
yep.
I forgot my lipstick. Hey, Suspicion. It's Lorene here, and I'm with our beautiful cat, Adam.
Hi.
How are you? Hi,
good.
How are you?
How are you?
I'm good.
Good. I love your shirt. It's so pretty.
Thank you. This is my Tamu shirt. This is a really good shirt. It's like my t-shirt.
Oh, okay.
Like a t-shirt.
Yeah. Well, it's cute. Yes. I love the color.
Yeah, me too.
You can't see a look on us because on this recording, as we go through, we're gonna be doing our makeup with our non-dominant hand during the video.
Yeah, this is something new. We're gonna try to do the look while we're doing the video.
Yeah.
Something new.
Something
different.
That's right. We're gonna give it a shot. We're gonna try and imitate Bailey as she does her murder mystery makeup. Like, try and do our makeup with our non-dominant hand for the challenge.
Yes.
And then the look that I'm trying to do is the other challenge look, the Cookie Monster story that she did. And then you're gonna do
the green.
Yep.
Knock 2 birds out with 1 stone.
There we go.
Before we get started, we got a couple things we need to go over that have been happening in the group, because we just finished our Founders Day.
How amazing was that?
It was really,
yes.
It was really an epic one. I mean, there was so many participated, new people, you know, it was good. It was really
seeing
good.
The new members like participate in those kind of things, you know, really start to get active in the group and like really start to just kind of, you know, realize that it's a safe space and it's something that they can do, especially some silent members who'd been around for a while started to be active. And we had 6 winners.
Yep.
We had 6 runners up, and we had an ambassador. And I don't know, like, we just like to celebrate. This is something that Natalie came up with when the group originated. That's how you and I both got involved. Now we're over 100,000.
I was 800. There was 800 when I came in.
I want to say there was like 140 when I came in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that's something that she has done, and we have, you know, decided that let's do this every year. Let's celebrate the group. Let's celebrate all of our members and celebrate the founders of being.
Exactly.
So it was, like you said, epic.
Yes. And I mean, and speaking of founders, we wouldn't be here without Natalie.
That's right.
I mean, the work and the time that she put into this founders giveaway, like that epic vault. That's all Natalie.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all Natalie. I mean, she had the team's help, on certain things and whatnot, but the whole basis is her.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's fantastic. So thank
It
you,
is.
Natalie.
Yes, thank you, love.
So along with our top 6 that we had, ironically enough, because of their activity for the giveaway, a lot of them are in the top 5 contributors for the last 30 days. So you want to,
right?
Yeah.
Yep.
You want to start
our 5th place top contributor was Chrissy Cat.
Yay!
Who was also our 3rd place winner in the Founders Grand Giveaway.
Yep, she sure was. Our 4th place top contributor for the last 30 days is Josie Shields.
Yay!
She was 5th in the overall Grand Founders Giveaway, and she also won Ambassador. So
yes, she did.
Awesome, Josie.
That was, yes. And then our 3rd top contributor was Rihanna Rose, who was also our 6th place winner in the Founders Grand Giveaway.
That's right. Our 2nd top 5 contributor for the last 30 days is Caroline Harmon.
Yay!
She was also 2nd place in the Founders Giveaway.
Yep. And then our number 1 top contributor again, because she's been it for a while.
Yep.
And also won 1st place in the Founders Grand Giveaway is Sherry Bynum.
Yay, Sherry! Woohoo!
Yes.
That's amazing. Keep up the great work, guys.
Yes, congratulations to all you guys. And then we also have Sue Lynn Musselman, who was our 4th place winner for the Grand Giveaway.
She was. Love Sue Lynn.
Yes.
Woohoo! We also have the monthly challenge winner to announce for the month of February, which again, separate from the giveaway.
Right.
This is something that we do every month, regardless of what other things we got going on in the group. So February's monthly challenge winner was Jessica Ellen Nelson.
Yay! So you need to contact Natalie to claim your prize.
Absolutely. And that's the first time I think we've seen her. So welcome, Jessica.
Yes.
Congratulations. Just like always, the winners are chosen at random and the little random spin wheelie. Not based on talent. And all you have to do to enter is to go to the featured post in the group, look for the monthly challenges posted by Genia Allman, attach your picture, use the hashtag, and you're entered.
Exactly. Simple.
That's it. That's all you have to do.
It's so easy. Since you mentioned welcoming Jessica, because we've never seen her before, welcome to everybody else in the group who came in that was invited by all our people, during the grand giveaway, because we have a lot of new faces in the group now.
We do. So welcome new Suspicious. And, you're joining it a great time. We're just coming off the heels of our Founders Grand Giveaway. And our next huge event that we do in the group is coming up in October. And you definitely don't want to miss that.
Right. Exactly.
Should we start with our non-dominant hand?
Yeah, we should, and talk about our latest Bailey video.
Yes. So I remember the first time I heard this story was on a Netflix documentary that they did, like Evil Next Door or The Murderer Next Door or something like that. Netflix did a documentary on it. And one of the episodes was on this lady, Dorothea Fuente. Yeah.
And looking at her picture, there you go.
Yeah.
She does. She just looks like your wholesome grandma.
Yeah.
It like Bailey said, one of those grandmas that sends you birthday cards and probably knits something for you.
She reminds me of the serial killer, the Giggling Granny.
I never seen that one.
She killed multiple members of her family, to include like 4 out of her 5 husbands, her daughter, like
Oh my
grandchild.
God.
Yeah, so the giggling granny is a bad story too, but every time she talked about their deaths, she would laugh. So that's why she got the nickname, the giggling granny.
Well, that lady, Dorothea, she did an interview saying that she really was a nice person.
Well, yeah, I saw that she had a video, like Bailey even included in it in her murdering mystery makeup, but it was also in the documentary of her being like her police interview saying, I've not always been this bad. I really am a nice person. And
yes.
Yeah.
It's like, really? I mean, if you've always been a nice person, then you never would have done the things you've done.
Well, and just like with, a lot of the people who have issues, they had, not always, but a lot of time with just rough upbringing, and she sure did.
Oh my God, she did. So she was born in 1929, I believe it was. And that it was the era depression.
Yeah.
Or the depression era, whatever. And then it said, things weren't well documented back in that day. But it said she had anywhere between 6 or 17 siblings.
Yeah, somewhere.
How could that not be totally documented?
Well, I think too, because I was thinking some of them were foster, because wasn't she in the foster system too?
Oh, you know what? Bailey did say that they were, because one, her mom was not a very loving mother.
Right. Yeah.
She was a sex worker. And she would be gone days at a time.
Yeah.
And she was also an alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
And that when she would leave on her little excursions or what have you, she would lock all the kids in a closet to keep them safe.
Yep.
And Dad wasn't any better.
Mm-hmm.
He was an alcoholic just as well, and Dad had mental issues, because she said that when he would get drunk, he would tell the family all the time that he was gonna hurt himself.
Or hurt
himself.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yep. And then when Dorothea was 8, her father died of tuberculosis.
Mm-hmm.
And a year later, her mom died in a motorcycle accident.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then that's when her and her siblings got sent into foster care.
Mm-hmm.
And then at 16, she left to go to Olympia, Washington.
Mm-hmm.
So she apparently ran away from the foster home and got a job at a shake shop.
That's right. I was trying to think what she did.
And this is where it got kind of funny for me when I was re-listening to it again, because she was 16, got the job at the shake shop, but then they said that she also became a sex worker.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where she met her first husband.
Mm-hmm.
And they got married. And she changed her name too.
Yeah.
She called her name Sherry something. He thought she was 30 years old.
Yeah. And she was 16 or something.
Yeah. But my thing was, what like Bailey said, was she a hard looking 16-year-old? I mean, because that's.
Yeah.
But how old was he?
I don't think
she ever said. She was 30.
Yeah. Was he even older, or was he 20s, or the fact that she could even get away with it,
right.
Yeah. So one big theme here is like a master of disguise.
Yes.
For Dorothea.
Yeah. Then she ended up going back to San Bernardino, was it, where she was from?
Sacramento.
Oh, Sacramento.
There was a lot of background, like.
And she said that there was a lot to the story that she took out.
Right. Well, this is about as good as my eyeliner is going to get, and it's all over the place.
Oh, I'm not even attempting to do my eyeliner on top. No.
For the Cookie Monster video, her makeup's pretty...
Oh, that's right.
...dark, so...
Yeah, that's true.
But then Dorothy gets divorced. She ends up opening up a bookkeeping store, but what she was really doing was running a brothel.
Yeah.
And she was the head person, for the brothel.
Yes, the madam.
The madam. It was, she was arrested because people figured out what she was doing. Pled guilty. She got 90 days.
Yep.
But she was married to her second husband when she got arrested.
Yep.
And it was said that he was like supportive when she was in jail and everything. And then come to find out, they got divorced after.
Yeah.
And so maybe she did because she was married like 5 times, 5 or 6 times.
I was going to say there was quite a few times she was married.
So maybe she was using those as to be able to change her name.
Oh, right.
Her identity, from people tracking her down, maybe?
That could be.
So then she gets out of jail and she's like, okay, I need to make some more money. And she opens up a boarding house.
Yep.
Called the Good Samaritans.
Yeah.
When she had the Samaritans home, social workers would come and visit, and they're like, she was like a motherly figure, and it seemed to be a really stable environment for clients to be in. She was a 24-hour caretaker. She was allowed to keep part of their Social Security,
right,
to help pay for the house.
Right.
She declared bankruptcy at some point.
Oh, and she liked to live on F Street.
Yeah, F Street in Sacramento. Yeah, she had both houses on F Street. But after she declared bankruptcy, she's like, okay, I still need to make some money. Before, it was quoted that she had brassy, sexy makeup and clothes. And so she liked to flaunt it. But when she was kind of reapproaching her business perspective to go look at it, she decided to stop dyeing her hair, dress more moderately, and she told everybody that she was a Christian. Look at me, I'm just an old Christian lady. Now, she was only in her 40s at this point.
Right.
So when she got into her second house on F Street, the people who basically gave her more of their disability or Social Security got to stay on that first floor. Mm-hmm. And the people who didn't stayed in the basement.
Right. Oh, you know what? Before we go any further, because I forgot, she had children, and all her kids, and her kids all got taken away.
Yeah.
I think she had 2 daughters.
With the first husband?
I can't remember. Like we said, she was married 5 times. I can't remember.
Yeah. Well, one of her husband she was something and he was 21. Do you remember that?
Yeah. They were only married 2 days or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now back to the story.
She was apparently lose it on a lot of her clients that were staying in the house, and she wouldn't let them drink, but she developed a drinking problem herself. She just didn't want to be around it. So from some of the money that she would give them from their own checks, they would go, out and get drunk and then come home. They just couldn't do it at the house. So by this time she gets her 4th divorce, and social services starts looking in saying, how can a lady with a record, so she's got check fraud, the brothel, that kind of thing, have this caretaker's home? So then they started looking into her a little bit more. Treasury got involved, and they found her forging checks again.
Yep.
So because she pled guilty, she got 5 years parole.
Right.
No jail time. and ordered to go to counseling or like psychiatric care. She was diagnosed with a broad personality disorder, so like schizophrenia. I love how Bailey described it because it's adorable. It's a little Victorian. She's like bungalow. It's huge, front porch, nice backyard. It had 8 rooms. It had one of those like pedestrian gates at the front, so people can come in and out or whatever, like through the gate. So
she described that really well at the end, like during the court, they had a model of it and everything. It looked like a little dollhouse. So this is where all her murders took place.
Yeah. This is where she met Malcolm, the 70-year-old that she was being flirty-turdy with at the Zebra Club.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, hey, yeah, they're hitting it off. And he's like, yeah, come on over. You can come over to my house. This is where she drugs him. And he's like paralyzed, but he's coherent. Like he can see everything that's going on.
Right.
And he sees her take one of his suitcases and start putting all his valuables or anything she thought that would be of value in that suitcase and steal it. But what she did do was give him her real name.
Yeah.
And so police tracked her down. She was actually in the process of cashing or writing one of his bad checks from like his checkbook.
Right.
So they kind of like caught her in the act, and she's like, oh, he gave them to me and he wanted a relationship, but I don't really want to, I don't like him that way. And then her next excuse was that she has a psychiatric disorder and she doesn't know right from wrong. Keeping all of that in mind, nothing happened. Like all the charges were dropped.
Right.
And the police just made a note like, we'll just watch her. Like we'll just keep our eye on her.
Right.
So then she goes to the beauty salon and meets the Irene lady.
Right. And she did the same thing to Irene, except Irene didn't know what her name was.
Yeah, she told her name was Betty.
Yes.
She did the same thing. Irene's like knocked out. Dorothea steals a bunch of stuff. Irene wakes up, calls the police, reports it, gives them a physical description, and says that her name was Betty.
Right.
They really didn't have a lot to go off of, but Irene ends up going back to the salon, and guess who's in there?
Yes, lo and behold.
Yeah.
And the hairdresser or whoever owned the salon knows that her real name is Dorothea.
Yeah.
But then again, nothing was done.
Once she's approached, like, I didn't do anything wrong. They couldn't find any of Irene's items in her house, so like they didn't have anything to prove. They couldn't prove anything.
Right.
So again, nothing happened.
Yep.
She did end up going to court because there was a couple other people that were saying like the same thing, that she was doing the same thing to them. But again, nothing happened.
Exactly. And I think this is where everything pretty much took a turn for her, because she was getting caught. She goes into it worse, so she don't get caught.
Yeah.
And for what Bailey was saying, she would prey on people who didn't have families. So if they ended up missing, except for one, and that was Emerson.
Yeah.
He lived in a different state.
He did. He lived in Oregon.
Yes. And he told his sister he was moving to Sacramento with her. They never really, I don't think they really met.
Nope. They were just like pen pals. And she said, I don't know how they met, but somehow they met. And they started writing back and forth to each other.
Yep. And then the sister would call, and she even did a wellness check, and the brother got mad. You know, Emerson comes and whatever. And the handyman.
Oh, yeah. She hires a handyman.
Yeah, to build her a box. Because the landlord also lived in that building.
Well, and that was the thing, because the landlord was saying that he went away for a couple of weeks and came back and Emerson wasn't there. And what Dorothy had said is that he actually went back to Oregon.
Oregon, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But nay.
Yeah, Nene.
Nay. He did
Yeah.
not.
And my thing with the handyman, why are you not questioning? Okay, you don't have to question the box itself because she explained that she wanted to store old items and stuff in. But the next time he came around, he saw that the box was nailed shut and it was quite heavy.
Yep.
And she wanted him to help her get rid of it. And so they drove to a desolate area.
Yep.
And left it in a riverbank. Why are you not questioning this?
I think because he paid her in that truck. Like, that was his payment, and he needed a vehicle. So I think he was just like, the less I know, the better. I'm just going to, you know, keep my mouth shut and do my quote-unquote job.
Yeah, but you did your job. Your job was to build the box for the value of the truck.
Yeah.
Now what she's asking you to do is extra. You know?
A little bonus here.
Yeah.
I think at this time, too, she had met somebody else. Yeah, she met this lady, Ruth.
Yeah.
And she talked Ruth into opening up a business with her. And
so they could do the joint account.
Yep, so they would have a joint account. And I think right now, like, Dorothy is just pretty much trial and error. What's working, what's not working. And so Ruth ends up moving in with her because her husband, like, they had an issue. Like,
I think they were going through divorce or separated or something.
Yeah. Dorothy is just like, hey, you can move in with me.
Right.
And it just worked out. But then when Ruth's family, her kids were coming to visit her, they noticed that, like, she was drinking and she never drank.
Right. And she was drinking.
That mint.
It was so funny trying to watch Bailey say that.
I wouldn't. Yeah. What is it?
It's creme de mint.
Creme de mint.
De mint.
Creme de mente.
Mint. Yeah.
Creme de mente.
That's what she kept calling it. Oh, this is going to be fun.
Yeah.
Trying to put mascara on now. Oh, my God. The eyeshadow part didn't turn out too bad.
Yeah.
And the eyeliner wasn't too shabby neither, but I did.
You just went under? You did under?
I just did under, and I went real light with the black and tried to smudge it and then added some green under it.
Yeah. Kids show up, checking on Ruth. She's drinking a lot. The daughter shows up and was like, I can't wake her up. She's not coming to. She's like, oh, the EMTs came over. She was upset, and the EMTs came over and gave her a shot. So she's just resting.
Yeah. And that was sad.
Yeah.
When, was it the daughter that came and visited, or was the son? And they said that she was like paralyzed and wasn't saying anything. And they're telling her, Mom,
like, it'll be okay.
Dorothea's going to take really good care of you and whatnot. And then one tear just went down her face.
Yes. Like, Ruth knew.
Yeah.
No, but she couldn't explain it.
Right.
And she couldn't talk.
Right. And then sadly, Ruth passes away. Oh, they said that Dorothea tried saying that she took her life because of everything that was going on and stuff because she had a bad heart and everything that was going on with her husband. Yeah. And everything.
Bad stretch or whatever.
Then it went to that she did suicide because they did the autopsy on her and they found those medications in her and they just assumed.
And no food. She had no food in her stomach for days. Days.
Right.
But they found the Tylenol coating and they found the alcohol.
Right. Oh, in the meantime, when all this was going on, that box was discovered. And it was so badly decomposed that they couldn't identify the person in there. Yeah. So they labeled it as a John Doe.
Yep. And that she said it would take 3 years for anybody to I guess ID the body, like find out who it is, but his body parts were in trash bags and there was like mothballs in there and then deodorant so it wouldn't smell.
Yes.
I think it was Emerson is the one that was in the box.
Yes, Emerson was the box.
Ruth's body is gone because she told the kids that she had died and everything.
Right, so she was taken care of properly.
Right. Well, over the matter of the 3 years up until they found Emerson's body, Dorothea had like 40 tenants in and out of the house. A lot of times, like you were saying, like they were family, like nobody cared for them, but she would take their disability and like basically live on their money.
Right.
And dispose of them when she no longer needed them or when they became maybe problematic.
Right.
She pocketed their money.
And then this is where, what's his name came in? Bert Monteo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he had a very good caseworker.
He did, because his social worker was the one that was like, Bert would not just leave. Like, he would
exactly, because she was telling everybody he went to Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's like, but he don't even speak Spanish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why would he go to Mexico? That came about with Bert, and the social worker is like, no,
yeah,
something's not right. And then that led to the police coming in and talking. And the one person that lived in the house said, oh, yeah, he went to Mexico. And he slid the note to the police officer saying she's having us lie for her.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so that's how they were able to get the warrant for the house. And then the dumbass cop let her leave to go get coffee.
Yes. Oops.
And that's when they discovered, I think, like 7 bodies.
Yeah, after 4 hours, they found 7 bodies total. One of them was, the first body that they discovered was like a foot in a shoe, which they thought was beef jerky and like a tree root.
Right.
Because it was all this cloth and stuff was around it, but it was a foot in a shoe.
Right. And, but her smart butt went had $3,000 on her.
Mm-hmm.
Went and got a hotel. She met another guy.
I was gonna say she met somebody.
Yeah.
And he was like, you look familiar. Like, I feel like I recognize you. And Dorothea introduced herself as Donna.
Yeah.
And this is the Charles guy.
Right.
And they're like flirting, getting to know each other. You know, and she's like, oh, we've hit it off. We should move in together. And he's like, whoa.
And he's like, yeah, no. He's like, whoa, hold on. Yeah. So he called the police. And that's how she was caught.
And her defense was saying that all the people in the house died of natural causes. And she was afraid that she would lose her house if she reported their deaths. So it was
because she was on probation.
Mm-hmm. So the handyman, because the statute of limitations was gone, didn't get charged with anything.
Right. And that's when they came about finding out Emerson.
Right.
And then going back into Ruth's death.
Mm-hmm.
When she got caught, she did say, I did cash the checks.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't admit to the murders, but she said, I did cash the checks.
But apparently she's been pretty quiet, like, about how everything happened, other than what witnesses have come forward to do. But she made a cookbook.
I know.
In jail, she created a cookbook,
and it was a serial killer cookbook.
Yep.
Yes, she did. And then Bailey brought up a good point. And I know she said she left a lot of stuff out, but it even had her thinking, Here she was, a 60-something-year-old woman.
Mm-hmm.
You got 7 bodies buried in your backyard. That woman did not do that shit by herself.
Right. Who was helping?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And that could be why she was so quiet. Like,
right.
She stayed so quiet.
And the dismemberment and stuff, because one of the bodies they found was one of the women.
So
was a woman.
One of the other documentaries I remember about this one saying that she might have made the other people in the house move everything.
That's what Bailey was suggesting too, like telling them, I need you to go dig a hole in the backyard, and then probably having, other people do other things.
Right.
But when all that came out, unless all the people that she killed, she had the person before them do it.
And I'm sure it was like, if you don't do what I say, you're going to end up in the ground like this person.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's probably how she got away with it, and why there was no explanation of how all this happened.
Right.
Because the following person was the one that had to do all the dirty work, and then to protect herself, she then had to kill that person. Yeah, so it was an interesting story. Now I'm gonna have to go look up her story on documentaries and stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
well, I think
look at that, and we finished at the end of the story.
We did. Yeah.
Oh my god, that was so fun.
Not easy with the left hand. My blending is not as good.
The eyeliner part was hard to do, I would say, but all in all, it really wasn't that bad. I'm looking at my eyeshadow and I'm really impressed with it. I am. I'm impressed with it. I'm like, oh my god, that looks actually kind of cute.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
So you see it here, Suspicious. Left hand or non-dominant hand.
Right.
I didn't poke myself in the eye.
Me neither. I did not do that either. But it was fun.
Yes, it was. Well, as always, lovely. It's great seeing you. Great chatting with you. And doing our makeup together.
Yes. It was great.
How fun.
I love it.
Suspicious, remember to make good choices.
Yeah.
And we'll see you around.
Alrighty, guys. Bye.